Please! I want to live again! I want to live again!
All my life,
I'm in a steaking bar, I got debts, I'm a debaser.
all my life,
Sliding about to my love, and I'm just a heartbreaker. I won't get a taken, cause I'm out when I'm staking. And I'm breaking, I'm making you a personal day.
Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of What the Hell Happened to Them? We continue forward in the Adam Sandler saga. We're getting close to the halfway point here, but today we have a gem of the Nile. What is it, Joe? It's Click. Sorry, Joe, to cut you off.
remix.
Hey everybody, welcome back to What the Hell Happened to Them? Adam Sandler Remixed. That's right, we are coming back to some of our older episodes that weren't recorded so great and kind of giving us a second chance at redemption. I guess that's redundant, but you get the idea. I am your host, Patrick Skeyhill, and joining me on the line is Speedo Torpedo, Joe Vekeman.
Hi.
And on the audio boards is Lev Van Rensselaer reminding me to remind you that you can email the cast at whathappenedtothemcast@gmail.com. And our sponsor this week is Maruchan Instant Punch, the bold new way to microwave a can of whoop ass. Or a styrofoam cup. A cup of whoop ass. All right, Joe. What movie are we remixing that we first recorded in November of 2015?
Holy shit. It's almost a decade ago. That's crazy. We remixed Click from 2006. A Frank Karachi joint.
What happens in Click?
What happens in Click, you ask? Well, let me tell you. A workaholic architect finds a universal remote that allows him to fast forward and rewind to different parts of his life. Complications arise when the remote starts to overrule his choices.
As advertised.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the original recording?
I remembered to do that as I was pulling into my driveway. I was like, oh, shit.
Well, here's something I was surprised we did not bring up. The return of the O'Doyles and how they rule.
We love the O'Doyles.
Love the... I always throw those in whenever you can. Whenever you have a weird ginger character in your movie, they're an O'Doyle.
Okay, so the O'Doyle kid in question was Cameron Monaghan. The little, like that little kid who gets hit in the face with a baseball, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm looking at him right now. This kid became really famous.
Really? Is he Timothée Chalamet?
No, but like adjacent. Like, what if Timothée Chalamet was a little less
ginger?
talented? I don't know.
Well, if Timothée Chalamet were less interesting than he already is, that sounds crazy, Joe.
Wow, we're going to have a fight already? Wow. No, he was on 127 episodes of the TV series Shameless for the United States.
Okay.
He is the face of the Star Wars Jedi video game. He plays Cal Kestis. He is in 20 episodes of Gotham, where he plays the Joker.
What?
Yep.
Oh.
But yeah, that's recent, and that's a lot.
Okay. Yeah,
This kid, like this is all I believe after Click had happened.
I think it would have to be, right? Shameless. They all start out. Gotham definitely.
Yeah, well,
starts
Shameless
out
is like a couple of
2006.
years after Click. I think it starts in 2010 or 11, and then it's just kid got really famous. Good for him.
Another thing we discussed was how everybody was kind of getting all excited for Back to the Future Day, right? When that future world would take place. Well,
Yeah.
we're pretty much at the future when Click happens. We're like a year away from it. Do you think we're getting the technological advances that Click has shown us?
I mean, in 2006, I was like, this is ridiculous. No, I don't think we're going to be seeing that future anytime soon.
No, this crazy space-age hospital room is not coming our way.
No, but I will say they kind of did nail Henry Winkler aging. Looks kind of similar.
Good work, makeup artists. Academy Award nominated makeup artists.
I was going to say that. This is the only Adam Sandler movie that has one singular Academy Award nomination for best makeup.
It's crazy that Punch Drunk Love and
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems got nothing.
Yeah. Even Hustle. I would say Hustle should have gotten something.
Well, Hustle's on the Netflix void. I'm not surprised by that. But, like, Uncut Gems and Punch Drunk Love both had a lot of notoriety because they were like, wow, Adam Sandler's doing, like, real acting now. So, like, they were in the public consciousness a lot more than Hustle and Spacemen.
Here's some funny little thing for you. Drew Barrymore turned down the role of Donna Newman. What was she doing in 2006?
Charlie's Angels.
No, that was well done. That was already done by like 2003.
Damn. All right. I don't know then.
I'm looking it up. Let's see. 2006 Drew. What was she doing? Not hanging with Sandler. That's what she was doing. She was in a voice in Curious George in 2006.
Well, maybe, like, this isn't like a great role for her. Great role in general.
Yeah,
so, like,
but
the other roles let her do a lot more. So I'm not surprised. She was like, nah, wait till the next one. By the way, I thought for pretty much the entire time watching the movie, I was like, oh, do you think this is like a secret sequel to Anger Management? Why do you think I thought that, Joe?
Oh, God. Well, I don't know. Is it because he gets really mad at his boss and farts in his face?
No, it's because I thought his wife was the same actress.
You thought she was Marissa Tomei?
I did. For the entirety of the movie until I listened to the old recording and we were talking about Kate Beckinsale, and I thought, where was Kate Beckinsale in this movie? And then it sort of dawned on me.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been really a fan of her, but she is kind of anonymous in this movie.
You didn't like vampires and werewolves, whatever?
I did not enjoy those movies. I saw like two of them.
So she's done Click and then like 8 of those and then nothing else? Or?
I believe 8 is the number, maybe. What has she done? Jesus. I'm looking at this right now. I liked Snow Angels. I don't know if it was really her.
I don't know what
the
hell that is.
Snow Angels, I believe, is a David Gordon Green movie starring her, Sam Rockwell, Michael Angarano, and Griffin Dunn, Tom Noonan, Amy Sedaris, Olivia Thirlby. It's got a good cast. And it's about, do you want me to spoil it for you? Because I don't really know how to describe it. 2 young kids fall into the ice and die, and then the whole town is kind of sad.
That sounds like the Sweet Hereafter.
Oh, really? I've never seen that.
Where like a school bus full of kids goes into
Oh, wow. Upping
the
it.
ice.
Wow. Okay.
And then the whole town gets sad and depressed.
Yeah.
Is that what that movie's called? That might not be the name of the movie, but that movie I've seen and I liked. This movie is just like, it's only 2? Nah, who cares?
It's more focused, probably. it's more like a family and like the people that were involved with it. I liked it a lot when I watched it. That was over a decade ago, so maybe I don't like it anymore. I don't know.
Well, you might. I don't know. Like, it sounds like Kate Beckinsale can do like serious acting and not just Click and or werewolf stuff.
We also got Julie Kavner in this.
We have Marge Simpson.
Yeah, and man, is she marging it up in this. I thought Henry Winkler was very charming too, though. I thought they were
Henry Winkler,
nice.
Quite a delight in this movie. At some point, we should do like a Sandler dad tier list.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
that'd
a great
be a fun
idea
thing for us in the future. But I thought it was a really good use of him here. And I was kind of sad, like, we don't really see him a lot after this. But I know he's still working, so bring him back.
I really hope this was the first Blu-ray. Click was the first movie to be released on Blu-ray disc 50 with a 50 gigabyte Blu-ray disc. Prior to this, the movies were released on Blu-ray disc with 25 gigabytes. Wow. Way to be the first one, Click.
At the time, it didn't actually matter, but
yeah,
it was good that they switched. Because the TVs would start to keep improving.
James Gunn revealed that he sent the script Rewind, which had a very similar premise to Sony's Click, but was turned down in favor of Click.
Well, you also talked about that there was, in the previous recording, an R.L. Stine short story called Click that was basically the same thing, and they almost came to legal blows over it.
Wow. found another one on top of it, though. I mean, this is basic. I already made the joke. This is Sandler's version of It's a Wonderful Life. And it really shows in the last, like, half hour. And he's just like, he comes back, he's like, oh, I miss you, you stupid dog. Go hump the pillow or something. Yeah. And then they get the other dog. And he's like, the guy told me it was a girl dog.
We get yet another Chic impression. They seem to be 3 weeks in a row for us. We got Chic impression. This is even from a different decade.
When I said we don't need to watch The Longest Yard, it wasn't me saying we need to go 3 Chics in a row. Oh, Henry Winkler's character dies in 2021, as seen on his headstone.
That's right.
We know that's not true. He's still with us.
Well, it's just his character, Joe. It's a movie.
Well,
they're not real, Joe.
That is a good point.
He's playing an actor.
Wait, what?
What?
This is a movie?
Yeah,
what if I just pulled that all of a sudden out of nowhere? Wait, Click is a movie?
It's not a documentary happening in real time.
It felt so real.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure.
Did you still hate Terry Crews dancing?
I did, yeah. Listen, I'll also say, having listened to the recording, this is another remix episode where I come in and say, sorry I was being such a jerk back in 2015. I'm not going full on say I really like the movie. What I'm saying is I was acting like a big jerk and I was looking for things. I was like trying to pick fights with the movie, I think. Like I went in not wanting to like the movie and would find any small thing to really annoy me. And maybe I just was easier to annoy back then. I don't know, but things that really annoyed me then, I either was like, no, that kind of worked here, or was like, yeah, I didn't like it, but like, whatever, I'm not going to get all butthurt about it. Maybe I'm just a lot more chill now that I'm almost a decade or older.
I think you are.
Right, like 8.5 years have gone by. And I'm sorry for all the things that I said and, clicking on a perfect movie, but there were some jokes I did laugh at. The directing actually was a lot more intentional than a lot of Adam Sandler films have been. So I could appreciate that effort being put in to sort of taking advantage of moments and beats and doing some visual styling. So good work there. Let's jokes that I enjoyed. Prince Hubba Bubba, that whole thing I liked.
That's a gum.
Yeah, Sandler pretending to be the kid's Asian dad. Like, that was a funny little thing there. The kids being really excited to watching CSI.
Yeah.
When he goes to give the middle finger to the lifeguard guy, but when he's dying, I thought that was a funny cutaway thing. Yeah,
I gotta tell you though. So Tanya came in when he kind of was just learning. Like how the rules of the remote, and it was when he's having his wife's friends over and she's like complaining about something and he puts it on mute, and I was like, oh, how I wish I could do that. And then Tanya looked at me and she was like, fuck you. I thought it was funny.
That's what I wanted to ask you. So you talk a lot in that episode about like you being touched by this father-son moment. Well, now you are a dad and you have 2 kids.
Yeah.
How does this movie hit for you now?
It's so real. I am enjoying the Sandler as a dad much more now as a dad. And I'm like, maybe I just needed to wait. And now I really, like, I feel one with him now.
You did like it then, but is it hitting harder now? Is it hitting different? How's it feeling?
I wouldn't say it hits a little harder. It hits different. It's definitely different because I'm like, my kids do these things that drive me crazy, but I love them. And I just want them to be happy and doing fun stuff. And before I would have been like, oh God, these kids are so annoying. But I'm like, those are just my kids now. Yeah. That's what they do. So
you don't want to cats in the cradle your kids, is what you've learned from the movie.
Yes. No, and it's also the thing that drives me crazy is like the whole like story is like him saying, oh, I lost all these like small moments because I was too focused on like getting other stuff done. And I'm like, yeah, that's my whole life now. Is like I don't want to miss the little moments. And this movie just like really hits that. I'm like, shit. That's my son wanted to play Cars the other day, and I was like, yeah, I'm a little tired, but you know what? Let's play Cars.
Yeah.
Because how many more times am I going to play Cars before you're like, I'm sick of playing Cars, go away.
Yeah, he's like, Dad, you don't understand. God slams the door to his bedroom.
Yeah, I don't want that. So I'm like, come on, please. Let's play Cars until you're 100. I don't care.
Let's talk about the daughter and her hair.
Yeah, baby, there, mama, everywhere, daddy, daddy,
What do you mean? What happened to her hair?
Joe, in
Why am I not
the
remembering?
wedding when he's old and all the time has
yeah.
passed, she's got this crazy ass thing in her hair. This plastic headpiece thing, I don't know, but I think it's the coolest fucking thing. What a great accoutrement to her hair. And I just wanted to point out how awesome it was, and I hope that's a trend we get next year, because we're coming up on it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Is that girl anybody? Like, do his grown-up kids or anybody? I know that at some point there's a Jonah Hill, but do the...
Yeah, well, just because I'm going to click on them, but I'm seeing on their IMDb that they still have their headshots from when they were in this movie, so I'm going to say no. First known for is Click, so I'm like, she's got 10 credits.
Not a lot in the last 18 years.
No, she was on one episode of My Name is Earl, the same year as this came out. She's on one episode of Ghost Whisperer, the same year this came out. She's on one episode of ER 3 years after this came out, and she's in the movie The Time Traveler's Wife as Alba at 4 and 5. I think that's the Rachel McAdams role.
I see. Oh, is that the daughter, the really young daughter?
No, it's not. No,
That's grown-up daughter.
I've never seen The Time Traveler's Wife.
I thought you said Alba at 4 and 5, so I thought that meant the ages 4 and 5.
Yeah, but who's Alba?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I feel bad for that girl. She's like, all right, it's 2006. I'm in 3 things this year. I'm in a Hollywood movie. It's finally taken off for me. And then nothing.
We should say, I'm sure we talked about it before, but the box office, this was a huge summer blockbuster. 240 million. That's crazy. 240 on an 82 million.
That is a big, big hit. Was this movie marketed as a comedy?
Sure. I mean, why wouldn't it have been? It's a Sandler comedy. It's a Sandler, American comedy film.
You probably should market it as a comedy, but you don't really get a comedy most of the time.
No, you get a dramedy.
Well, it's not even a dramedy. You get a comedy, and then it shifts to a drama, and then a little bit of comedy again at the end.
Do you think he was like, I want Frank Caracci to go into his James L. Brooks years?
Yeah.
He's like a low-rent James L. Brooks, I guess, right? I mean, it is. It's wrong. It's so wrong. Just because he did Blended, I was like, he knows what he's doing, kind of. We're kind of fans of Frank Caracci until his last 2, I guess.
What were his last 2?
Well, he did the Ridiculous 6 the year after Blended, which is insane. But he also made Zookeeper and Here Comes the Boom in between Click and Blended.
What the fuck happened to him? Jeez.
In the same year, this guy's career is outrageous because it's mostly Sandler comedies. But in the same year, in 98, he does The Wedding Singer and The Waterboy back to back. Then he takes an extended 6-year sabbatical and does nothing until he makes Around the World in 80 Days with Jackie Chan.
I don't know how you make Waterboy, Adam Sandler's crazy successful film, record-shattering film, and then you get nothing?
Plays the daddy.
You get nothing for 6 years?
It's nothing.
That sounds insane. He must have not wanted to work. I don't know. 6 years of nothing?
He does not even any TV.
Not even Sandler movie? Like, you just did nothing. It just seems unlikely.
Nothing.
That would be...
And he doesn't even really act. His credits go The Waterboy, Roberto, because he plays the daddy.
Yeah.
And then in 2003, he's Rick's roommate in Last Man Running, but that's just right before he does his own movie, Around the World in 80 Days, where he plays angry, dapper pedestrian. Frank Caracci, 58 years old.
Around the World in 80 Days, the last film of Arnold Schwarzenegger made before he was governor.
Holy shit, are you serious?
Uh-huh.
You know, he could have gone out on his really bad Terminator movie that I think is fine.
Well, he's made movies since, but...
Well, no, I mean, like, the third Terminator, he could have just been like, hey, this is my key role.
It's exactly the same as the second Terminator.
No, it's not. It's bad. The third one, I like some of it, but it's not very good.
Well, I remember it just being basically the same.
No.
Yeah.
That's the second one. The second one is like a masterpiece.
The second one's very good, but the third one's just trying to be the second one. That's why it's bad.
All right.
I like the second one a lot. And the third one, I'm like, oh, you're just doing this again?
Well, the third one, they kill off the Sarah Connor character. That's just a weird idea to do.
Especially since it seems like she's around for other movies.
She does come back because they said that third one is not canon anymore.
I almost would rather them make a stupid, convoluted reason why she's alive again than just cancel out. You already made the stupid thing that we had to watch it, and now you're like, well, sorry, we wasted your time.
Yeah, that'd be nice, but...
Like, whatever. You're doing time travel shit. You can't fix that?
Yeah.
And it makes no sense because, like, all right, we sent a thing back to kill her before she could give birth to the dude. We'll just keep sending people back to the same time. At some point, you're going to get it right. I don't know. Or just go back even further.
I like the movie where they keep failing to send someone back properly.
Send them back to, like, 1786 or whatever. They don't have the weapons to destroy your killer robot thing. They don't have them. They got a fucking horse. That's it. Or just, like, stop the revolution from the Revolutionary War from succeeding. She certainly isn't getting born then.
Well, this is kind of what they're doing with the Predator movie.
What, time travel nonsense?
Yeah, it's kind of turning into like, hey, just put the Predator in this setting now. Because they went back and they did
okay, I got you.
Like the native setting.
Well, don't care about any of that. What are we talking about? We're talking about Click. All right.
Talking about Click. The 79th Academy Award for Best Makeup nominated. It lost to Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, we talked about that. You want to know how this movie's old, Joe?
Tell me.
Bed Bath & Beyond is still a store.
Wow.
Bed Bath & Beyond exists in people's consumerist world.
That's sad.
The wife is in a Pocahontas costume, and for some reason, it's very normal.
Yeah, I was so confused about that whole thing.
I was unsure what the occasion was where she would wear it, why no one else was doing a similar thing. It seemed to also be kind of a sexy kind of costume.
Yeah.
Odd. I didn't even really notice it until, like, that one random scene. I'm like, was she wearing it at the park beforehand? But, why would she have been doing that?
So strange.
Christopher Walken was the most famous Morty character at the time.
Yeah, I guess you could just name him Morty. Who else is named Morty?
Audiences would still get a Thurston Howell reference. Do you even get that now?
Thurston. Is that Gilligan's Island?
That's right. That was the millionaire on Gilligan's Island, Thurston Howell III. And his wife, Lovey. Yeah. All right. Michael Jackson is still alive and worth making jokes about.
Damn.
And also, Britney Spears is still with Kevin Federline.
Yeah. Huh. Jonah Hill's in this movie for like 30 seconds, right?
Yes.
Why? It's so weird.
Because they needed a fat version of the sun.
Yeah, and it's like a year before Superbad.
Yeah, but the movie hadn't come out yet, so he's just taking the roles. Take the roles, Jonah Hill.
Oh, I know. It's just so strange.
Don't be like, why? It's not strange. It's logical. We got fucking Jack Nicholson being in 3 minutes of a Corman film. You got to start somewhere, Joe.
You know what?
Jim Carrey is in a commercial for a hotel.
Yeah. Jonah Hill is in a movie I think we both pretty much love, and it's probably that director's favorite movie of ours, even though we kind of probably hate everything else he's done, maybe. I don't know. That's how I feel. I Heart Huckabees is Jonah Hill's first credit.
Well, who the hell is he in that movie?
His name is Brett.
Don't remember him in that movie. I bet I would recognize him if I see him, though, and I do enjoy that movie quite a bit.
Yeah, the next year, The 40-Year-Old Virgin. And I know he's just a small part in that because he's the eBay customer, but he comes in there and he's like, I want to sell this.
Oh,
Do you remember? They're like, oh, no, we only sell it on eBay. And he's like, well, what's the store for? I have the stuff. That's great. That joke still works almost 20 years later. But then in the next year, he's in Knocked Up, Superbad, Walk Hard. And those are the good ones because he's in a couple of other ones that I don't think are very good. But yeah, then he's just off to the races. Good for Jonah
You know,
Hill.
Dewey Cox is in this movie for like 3 seconds. Did you see him?
What? John C. Reilly's in this?
Yeah, he like gives birth to Adam Sandler. He's the doctor. Makes fun of his tiny penis.
Are you serious?
I looked and sounded like him.
I'm gonna look this up. I'm looking up like uncredited. It's not him. Who
That's
was it?
him.
Who's the doctor? I'm looking up who's
him?
I'm going to IMDb and looking up who's the doctor and click.
All right, here we go. I'm doing it too.
Because who's the doctor? I just didn't notice it. If it is him,
It's like
cool.
nobody. He's barely in it.
Doctor. Dr. Bergman is Sidney Gannis. We have Dude, that's the guy from Big Daddy, isn't it? Isn't that Sid? It looks like Sid.
I don't think this was the guy. I'm still going to hold out and say it's secretly John C. Reilly.
Well, that's fine.
He was in Mr. Deeds, this Gannis. He's in Big Daddy.
Where? I don't see him.
No,
I
wait.
see.
Yeah,
his first credit is All the President's Men.
Listen, I go down, I Google him.
Yeah.
It says his facts. Apparently, he got Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Informational Special, Black Movie Award for Outstanding Motion Picture. He was in Aquila and the Bee. He was in
Yep.
Mr. Deeds. He was in Master of Disguise. He was in Big Daddy. He was in Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo. He was in something called Yoshiki Under the Sky, which came out last year. Anger Management, Click, All the President's Men, You Don't Mess with the Zohan, Little Nicky, Isabel,
Damn.
Empire of Dreams, Olympia, some Star Wars thing, Making of Raiders of the Lost Ark, another Star Wars thing.
Good
Other
for
things
him.
I've never heard of. Yeah.
Good for
He's around, my friend.
Sidney Gannis.
Hollywood legend, Sidney Gannis.
Kind of. Oh, there's another doctor. Oh, this guy definitely has more John C. Reilly than I think.
Ah ha ha!
His name is Tim Herlihy. He is one of Adam Sandler's most close writers.
Yeah, maybe that's it then.
Yeah, it could be him. He's literally been in, he's written everything that Sandler's done.
I could understand if he looks a little more like I could confuse the two of them. You know, in hindsight, based on recent castings in Adam Sandler films, it's weird he didn't slip his own kids into this. But maybe they were like 2 at the time or something.
They would have been very young. Yeah, exactly. Like 2, maybe 3.
You know, we've gotten David Hasselhoff in our cast before, last seen on the shores of Baywatch.
Yeah, I saw his age. He's 71. That's pretty good. He's still kicking with us.
Do you think that the girl dog that's actually a boy dog he gets at the end is the same dog from Little Nicky?
That looks like Meatball. That looks like Adam Sandler's dog Meatball.
See, even the dogs he's always bringing into his films. Can't help himself.
Of course. He loves his bulldog. This movie ends, though, with a song from the New Radicals. That song was definitely, parodied, a few years ago online, where everyone was just like, this is what every, early aughts movie ended like. And they just, they would have, someone be, throwing their papers on the floor and, oh, I just had the best day. And, they had a good day at work or something like that. I finally put that last, what do people, I don't have a real job like that, where it's just boring office stuff. I work with medical parts. So I'm, drowning here. But, there's that song, the New Radical song that it ends with. Were you aware of this?
I wasn't aware of the meme, and I also cannot for the life of me remember the song that the movie ends with.
Well, if we're still into putting music into our show, I think you should put the song in there.
What's the name of the song called?
It's the New Radicals. That's the band. And it's called You Get What You Give. And I had to look it up yesterday because I was like, I've definitely heard this song a long time ago. And I looked up...
Lev, play the song for us. Let's take a listen here. It's loading, Lev. I don't remember the song at all.
You don't? This song has 436 million streams, and their other songs are in the thousands. They were a one-hit wonder. This is from 1998.
Yeah, all right, that's kind of coming back to me. But it does also seem aggressively forgettable, so I'm not surprised.
Well, it was a one-hit wonder. Exactly.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
It feels like the Drew Carey show definitely used this.
They did not, though, sadly. I'm sorry. No, sorry.
You definitely know that they haven't used it?
I do know they haven't used it, yeah.
All right. Well, it feels like, you know how they have those musical episodes of like that.
They do, but they kind of pick
definitely
like
one they could have slot in.
funner songs, like the more upbeat
I imagine
sort of things. Yeah. Their weirdest one they went to is like that one Fleetwood Mac thing.
Oh.
Other than that, I don't know. They generally don't go for like on the like topical music either.
Yeah, that wouldn't make much sense. I understand.
I guess though, in that weird variety hour episode they did, that could have been a band they would have had play that song. Maybe they were too. But you know what? Because that episode happens in 2002, so maybe they had already been forgotten by then. They had to get, Uncle Cracker and Shadazy. So
wow, Shadazy.
and Smash Mouth. They had to go. They had to go for the big guys. But they got, they get Peter Frampton though, so they had some timelessy sort of things in there.
I'm just going on the notion that maybe it was ABC just put a Drew Carey like, hey, watch Drew Carey at this hour, and then they would just throw that song in there like as they're like, get ready for the primetime hour on Wednesday. I don't know when Drew Carey was on. It
was on Wednesdays for most of it, and then they moved it on Monday, and it was going to be like it, and then Whose Line Is It Anyway afterwards, and I thought, this is awesome.
That is an incredible lineup.
I got that for like a month, and then like it got preempted every week for Monday Night Football. It sucked.
They did that on purpose.
Yeah.
They wanted to bury it.
It was sort of annoying. Yeah, because this was in the final years when they gave it a contract for 5 years, which is just unheard of now. But they were like, all right, we're going to renew you for 5 more years. And they got 3 really good years out of it. But then, season 8 and 9, they were like, all right, time to hide. And then they moved Whose Line Is It Anyway to they moved Drew Carey's show to like the summer or whatever, burn off. And Whose Line Is It Anyway just disappeared. It just was gone. It was very sad. They gave it to me and then they swifted it away.
Those assholes.
But we're talking about Click, which came out after the Drew Carey show run had ended.
Did it? When did Drew Carey end?
2004.
Ah, okay. So close.
I guess maybe 2005, the summer of, because of the weird, they pushed it back. But even those seasons they wanted to hide, they still had to make 25 episodes because...
Yeah, those seasons...
that's because of the contracts.
Just outrageous. Love it. Miss those 25 episodes. Because then you get the weird ones in there. Now they don't have the room for the weird ones.
Well, even back then, it was sort of odd to have that many episodes. You get 24 for the really popular shows, but Drew Carey would have 25, 26, 27 one year.
That's crazy.
It was
crazy.
Bizarre. Yeah. It was kind of good for ABC, but also, I think overall it paid off.
I'm glad you Click more this time. That's great.
I did Click more. I noticed the directing a lot more. Not when I wasn't trying to pick fights with it. Trying to be annoyed for the sake of being annoyed.
I think Frank Caracci in this movie is a perfectly acceptable, competent filmmaker.
Well, in with the football movie that I love, what's it, Waterboy?
Yeah, the Waterboy.
That's him being adequate. He's competent. He's not getting in the way. He's covering what it needs to cover. He's letting the jokes do what they need to do. Here he's actively directing. It's not amazing or mind-blowing or putting him in the pantheon, but there's real thought and intention behind what he's doing when to pair well with the script and the sci-fi-ish fantasy nature of it. There is effort being put, there's a surprising amount of effort being put in when he could have done what he did for Waterboy, and the movie probably still would have made just as much money as it did.
Yeah.
So I respect that a little more, that he can do that. And I just don't know if he's doing that in The Zookeeper,
No, probably not. Are we going to watch that?
No.
Good.
Well, Joe, you got some last looks on Click.
Last looks. As a father of a son and a daughter, this movie definitely, like you said, hits a little harder. And it makes me appreciate the time I have when they're young.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be like that overprotective dad that he turns into, where I'm just like, oh yeah, good work, son. What are you wearing, daughter? He does that all the time. Like, okay, come on, leave her alone.
I think he's making fun of himself.
I hope so. But I mean, he wouldn't have known yet because his daughters were like 2.
Yeah. But I think he understands the double standard and is kind of poking fun at himself in doing that.
Do you have last looks?
My last looks? Why does Adam Sandler do this movie? Well, right, so he's got kids now. He's in the family way.
Yes.
It almost might be a realization. Like, he knows, like, he's spending all this time making movies. He wants to make sure he still has time for his kids. So later on, he'll come up with the idea of just, like, putting him in the movies.
Yeah.
And then he can be as busy as he wants.
Spanglish, I guess, in 2004 is the first time that he has, like, a real, like, 2 kids and a wife family.
Yeah.
Because in Big Daddy, he's got the kid that gets dropped off at his doorstep. But, like, that's not a real family.
The joke is that he's not prepared to be a dad.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then in 2005, he does Longest Yard, so he's still, like, not ready to do the family thing yet. But this is his first, like, hey, I'm the dad. I have a family. This is our comedy that we're doing. And it's a family-based comedy. And it doesn't super center around the family. Like, those characters aren't, like, more, like, in the story that much. But, like, as, like, the Grown Ups series went on, like, that's kind of where he was heading. So this is, like, the beginning of it.
And we're also we're transitioning around. We're not doing, like, goofy man-child as much anymore.
No,
we're moving into
not as
straight man, family guy thing.
Yep.
Which isn't always as successful. And I think...
not when I was younger.
Yeah. But I think... This movie, I think, works... Like, if you got a different guy, I think the movie still would work just fine, you know?
I hope so.
Because it's not a film that's taking advantage of Sandler's best qualities.
No, he does do a couple of funny bits, though, when he gets the remote in the car and he's, like, turning colors and he's like, ooh, look, you don't want to mess with me when I'm angry. And then he's like, I'm a dinosaur. Like, purple.
Yeah. So we're in a new era of Sandler films. I think Spanglish maybe is the good kicking off point.
Not good, but kicking off point.
It's the point where you could mark it. Longest Yard, obviously, there's some overlap. Longest Yard feels more like his first wave than this new wave we're going into. But yeah, the films, like Blended, I like, and just go with it because he's got to do a lot more slapsticky kind of things.
Just go with it.
Yeah.
You know, I did try to rewatch. I rewatched that like a year or two ago.
We'll get there at some point, I'm
it's
sure.
Fine. One, I'm like, I'll have to really like, what do I like about this one now?
Yes. So, all right. I'm glad I've been able to grow up and mature and leave that renegade anarchist 25-year-old behind.
Hey, he was a great guy too. But we all need to mature.
I don't know. I listen, I go like, wow, he was a jerk. How did I have any friends? That's insane.
Oh.
It's okay. Like, that's
what we're like, that's like prime time us hanging out, so thanks.
Yeah, why didn't you respect yourself more, Joe?
Most.
Jeez.
Wow.
Maybe it was just about movies. I was a jerk.
Person.
I'm sure I was fine
I think you just had more opinions about less... How do we call? What do we call these movies? Less junky movies.
Yeah,
you
maybe.
cared less about the junky movies. This is like junk food.
There's even some like artsy stuff though. I was kind of like mad. I think I don't know. I was being all snooty. I think I was being a snooty kid, and
we all grow up.
But at the same time, I'm also like, was it the A-Team movie? This movie's great. Yeah,
hey, I remember
Expendables 3. This movie's cool. I still do. So it's just like, where was my line? Like, Click, I'm like... Pfft.
Yeah, you had to find it.
I probably will bump Click up in my ratings on Letterboxd, I think.
Yeah.
After this screening.
I have Click. I thought I had him. I do have it in my... Oh, right outside the top 10. It's number 11.
I probably wouldn't put it that high, but let's take a look where I have it.
Click is sandwiched between The Wedding Singer and Zohan.
I must have... I have Click really low. All right. I have Click below Men, Women, and Children. Not doing that. Bulletproof. Reign Over Me. The Cobbler. Funny People. Pixels. Little Nicky.
You just don't like Funny People because it's way too long.
That's probably a big factor of it, yeah.
If that was a miniseries, you'd be like, not bad.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move it up past Airheads, Grown Ups 2, and The Wedding Singer, and You're So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah.
Wow. Oh, and we got to add Spaceman on there.
And I'll worry about that later. All right, yeah. So I've now moved it from number 32 to 21.
Wow. What a bump.
Big jump.
Excellent.
All right, here's what I'm also doing. I'm actually going to put the Waterboy above Punk Drunk Love, I think.
That's your number 1 now then, right?
Waterboy, Punch Drunk Love, Uncut Gems, Billy Madison, Hubie Halloween round out the top 5.
That's a great top 5. You nailed it.
Excellent films. All right, saving those. It really is a toss-up between, like how silly do I want to be today? And that's going to determine if I watch Waterboy or Punch Drunk Love. Like, they're really neck and neck.
How silly do I want to be today?
All right. Well, I'd like to thank Levin Rensselaer for buying those audio boards and helping to remix this old episode and let us kind of take another crack at it. I'd like to thank Joe Vekeman for stopping by.
No, thank you.
And I am your host, Patrick Skeyhill. You can find my features, documentaries, short films, video essays, animations, behind-the-scenes footage, and so much more at QuixoticUnited.com and social media, presumably with a similar sounding name. Thank you all for listening all these years later. I hope you were around for the first Click Show, too, but if you weren't, we're happy to have you aboard, and we hope that you like this one better. Thank you all for listening. Joe, say goodnight.
Good night.
Come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you. Where the kisses are hers and his company too. Come and dance on our floor. Take a step that is new.
Where are you on the Yodel versus Twinkies spectrum?
I don't think I've ever had a Twinkie or a Yodel.
Neither?
I don't think so. I used to have the little muffins with the little writing on it, the little circle writing. What are those called?
Yeah. I think those are just called Hostess cakes.
Yeah. I like those.
What about Devil Dog? You have those?
My man. Devil dogs were a big part of my childhood.
Okay. All right. I didn't really like any of them. I did kind of like Twinkies a bit. Oh, the snowballs, right? The pink ones.
Oh, yep. I know about those. I wasn't a big, Hostess guy, but I know of Devil Dogs because that was what my grandpa always bought, and I would have one once in a while.
Yeah, my grandparents very big into the Hostess snack supplies. It's probably why they got type 2 diabetes later in life. Who's to say? But
damn.
It certainly did get me to stop eating them, I'll tell you that.
Just coming at him.
There's also the great episode of The Simpsons with John Waters.
Oh.
And has he done anything lately? Or is he dead?
I think he's making a new movie.
Hey, all right.
All these guys are coming out of the woodwork and just making new movies. Like, I told you, Elaine May, I think she's going to be coming out to make the Dakota Johnson movie now.
Oh, yeah, after the smashing success that is Madam Web?
Well, no, that's not a smashing success. It was not a success at all. I think the only reason why Sony isn't
bankrupt?
Yeah, it's because of Anyone But You is making $100 million now in America.
A movie that looks so boring.
It doesn't even look boring. It looks like what killed the genre in the first place. I don't get it. It's like, this is still bad.
A poster designed by some intern and people I've never heard of. And
yeah.
All right. What's John Waters doing?
It's called Liar Mouth. Writing and directing.
I'm on the lookout for that. Anyway, John Waters' episode of The Simpsons, and so Homer gets worried that Bart's becoming gay. And Marge he's like, here's some Hostess snack cakes. Do you want the black one or the pink one? And Bart kind of hovers over both, and Homer's anticipating which one he's gonna pick. And then he picks the pink one and he goes, don't!
Well, John Waters has also been doing a ton of TV,
really?
Either as himself or just as a character. He was in the Chucky series this year.
Well, that sounds right up his alley.
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel for Amazon. He's on a couple of episodes of Law & Order SVU.
Well, everybody is. That's whatever.
The Blacklist as himself? What?
Whoa, hey!
He's on some Mickey Mouse episodes. That's weird. He played in Mickey Mouse.
You haven't watched that with your son?
No, I probably have. I just haven't noticed it.
Yeah, you gotta go find those right now. Go watch them.
He's in Frasier.
Yes, I know that.
And the episode of The Simpsons you were referring to is called Homer's Phobia. He plays John.
Great episode.
Yeah, he's got a crazy career.
No Pink Flamingos too. They can't get that one off the ground.
I don't think so. I've only seen one John Waters movie. Which one do you think it is? It's not a famous one.
Then I don't know.
Oh, you don't know them all? Oh, I thought you were a fan now. I don't know.
Off the top of my head, no, I don't know them all.
This one was called Cecil B. Demented.
Oh, I do know that one.
Yeah.
That one played on Comedy Central quite a bit.
That's hilarious because it's not funny.
John Waters' sensibility is very unique, we'll say.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it, but I was like, this isn't funny. This is actually demented. I was like, well, it's doing its job. So
John Waters has a shtick. I'm surprised they let him do it that late into the 90s.
Yeah, no, I was very surprised at everything that was going on and he was getting away with in 2000. I was like, wow.
Like his stuff is the 70s. He is the embodiment of the 70s, like far end, like totally anarchist stuff. So like it's weird he would make a movie now. Like what could it even be?
I feel like the whole world is ready to get a little freaky.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, Dune's kind of weird that it's that popular. I don't think so. Mean,
it's big sci-fi blockbuster, you know? I get it.
Yeah, but there is like taking a lot of juice. I know you haven't seen it yet, but I know you've seen the other one, the Lynch one. And I'm sure he was definitely into all the human juices part.
I mean, I saw the first half of this Dune.
I don't remember any human juices being transported through people or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. There's spice, right? Some kind of, I don't know. Like, Lynch just certainly went weird, but like people weren't ready for weird. Right? In the wake of Star Wars, that's why Dune got made. And it was too
absolutely.
weird.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know. I haven't seen this part of Dune, but the first Dune felt very safe and normal and like I was not surprised that movie was a big success.
I've described the first Dune now as like the prelude. It's not a movie, it's just like the table setting. And then the second movie is actually the first movie. That's how I would describe it.
Okay, well that's good because I wasn't a fan of the first one.
Yeah, I'm like, I know you need to get all this shit out of the way, but 2.5 hours? That was my problem with it. And I really liked it because I love Denny's movies. They always look so good.
Did look good. I'll give it that.
Impressively. Like, I just like, how did he manage to get this one by looking like this? Like, and it seems like the strike helped and the pandemic helped in that way too, where he was able to like say, hey, we need some more time to work on the effects to make this look extra like special, and then he got it just by like the circumstances around it. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I can relate. One of my films was a very big editing challenge, but we got like an extra 7 months to work on it because of the pandemic, so I was grateful for that. All right, let's do Click after I drink some more water.
Click.